Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to shift gears to men's basketball. We're joined by head coach Andy Bronkema. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show, and congratulations on a great year for your program as well.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Obviously, your program ends up in the Elite Eight, like the women's program that we just talked about, and two outstanding seasons here for both basketball teams.
Yeah, it was a great year for basketball here in Big Rapids, and you know, it's a long season, 2-semester season, and you get going right away when school starts, and you have dreams like this, and a lot of dreams came true this year for both our squads, and it was a lot of hard work just to have a chance for that, and to have some of it come true, you know, made for a really memorable year.
Well, before we get into talking about the Elite Eight and the game you guys played last week, maybe talk about the postseason experience as a whole for your team, and your guys certainly took advantage of that opportunity here in the postseason.
Yeah, it was long, because we made the conference tournament trip up to Marquette, and then we made the regional trip to Indianapolis, and then the Elite Eight trip to Evansville. So a lot of planning, a lot of logistics, great job by our staff and our administration, Coach Fleming especially, and just to make those trips seamless so our athletes can perform at their best. And great job by our undergraduate assistant Bryce, and you know, he was a rock star the whole time too. So you know, all those behind the scene things are important, but all those postseason games were memorable, magical. It was a heck of a run, and you know, we closed out the regular season with three wins, and then to win 6 games in a row, you know, tournament games, 3 in the conference tournament, and then you know, 3 in the national tournament was pretty special.
As we go to the highlights of last week's game, it took on Minnesota State, and obviously there's a reason they were the #1 seed. Ended up winning the national championship, and an outstanding team that you had to face.
Yeah, they were good, and you know, as we studied them, we knew that they were good. I think maybe they played their best game in the Elite Eight against us, and they played well in the other 2 games also, and we didn't play as well as we did, and some of that's credited to them, but we didn't play as well as we did in the regional, and some shots that we were used to making didn't fall, and the game got away from us a little bit, and we couldn't do our patented comeback, even though we started the second half hot, playing our style of basketball. We couldn't do it. So credit to Minnesota State, but just really proud of our guys and the storylines that we created up and down the lineup. You know, just a lot of them to talk about, right? Vegas, the MVP in his hometown in the conference tournament, and then knocking off the #1 seed in their home gym in the second round, and you know, winning the rubber match against Lake State, and finally defeating Northern Michigan in the first round. And Ethan, the MVP of the regional. Amari was all-tournament team in the conference tournament. Ben, all-tournament team in the regional. And this team just made their mind up that they wanted to do it for each other. And anytime you have a successful season and a nice run, that is always part of the formula.
Playing here in the Elite Eight, over 300 Division II schools in the country, to be one of the final 8, what does that mean for your program?
Well, you know, in Division I there's 3 weekends, right? So the Final Four is the big destination, and in Division II there's the regionals, and then the Elite Eight is the big destination. So this is a really special experience for the 8 teams that make it out here, and you know, to cut down the nets in that regional was just hard to explain. You know, it was very special to share it with this group of guys, and you know, to get to the Elite Eight, we had a game plan we thought, you know, could win it, and then, you know, if you knock off #1, then you kind of become #1, and you know, there's 8 good teams out there, but we were in the mix. We just need to play a little bit better.
You have obviously the 3rd Elite Eight appearance here in school history for your 6 seniors. What kind of legacy do they leave here at Ferris State?
I mean, all 6 of them leave their own legacy, all a little bit different. You know, Ben is homegrown, and he was here for 6 years, almost 1,500 career points, 2 regular season championships, conference tournament championship, regional championship. Very, very efficient scorer, and that's you know, just a little bit of his legacy. And then, you know, Vegas was here for 4 years, but you know, that's the movie we're going to make. His story is long, and the storylines are incredible, but he was here with us still for 4 years, counting COVID, and the things that he overcame to be the MVP, the conference tournament, and carry us into the national tournament, remarkable. And he really just led us in emotion and energy this year. Delapo, Amari coming from D2s in their second year. Delapo being all conference second team, Amari being all tournament team, and Amari willing to come off the bench, willing to start some games, just whatever he could do for the team. And then Delapo really just getting healthy and fitting into the style of play his senior year was, they were both great storylines for us. And both missed a couple games this year, and when they were out, we weren't near as good. And then the 1-year transfers with Jack and Deshaun, and them developing roles and whatever it takes for the team attitude. Deshaun overcame a real nasty high ankle sprain, so he missed some valuable time in the middle of the season, and then came back and was still very productive for us. And then obviously Jack, playing point guard, playing the wing, just doing whatever it takes for our team to win. And he had that attitude coming in the recruitment, and he proved us right. So those two guys are forever Bulldogs now too.
28 wins, ties for the second most here in school history. So outstanding season as you look at it, kind of all the way around.
Yeah, that's a lot of wins, and it just kind of happens. And sometimes you're in the heat of it, and you're wondering if you're ever going to win another game, because that's just kind of how you're wired. You're trying to be as good as you can, and I even motioned like this all year long. Hey guys, we're starting here, we got to get here. And this represents full potential. And I really believe we got there. We maximized our potential. We came together, and that was really our path the whole year. Hey, we're starting with a fresh group. It's a new team. Anything we did in the past doesn't matter. And we're trying to get as good as we can get. And that was the result, getting to the Elite Eight. And that same process doesn't always take you to the Elite Eight. So it's a special year.
Finally here, as you lose 6 seniors for your group coming back, how much motivation does that give these guys maybe coming back going into next season?
Well, we're motivated. I can tell you that right now. We've already hit the ground running, building and planning for next year. And once you get a little bit of that Elite Eight taste back in your mouth, it had been 6 years, everybody that was involved, right on down to the red shirts who got to travel on all those trips, and the talented guys that maybe didn't play as much. They're hungry. They're ready, kind of motivated before, but a renewed motivation to improve their game, to be the next guy up, and to hold off some of the talented guys we might be bringing in. I mean, we're going to load up this roster and try to build another championship level team and go at it again next year. So the motivation is high, and the motivation in general in the athletic department with all the teams is just extremely high right now. So you just can't help but catch that when you're walking around, talking to coaches, talking to administrators, players from other teams. That's just the expectation. And we know it's not a promise or a birthright or given to us, but we're going to be going for it, and the work starts now.
Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats on a great year, and looking forward to the next season already.
All right. Yep, me too, Robert. Thanks.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.